Hi everybody, it's Sarah from the Jacksonville Public Library, and today I'm just going to be talking about some of the resources that we have here in our special collections room that you can use to research local history topics, different people that were from Jacksonville and Morgan County in your family, in the past, and different things like that. We have, lots of different books, maps, microfilm, as well as different online databases that you can use as well. But today I just want to talk about the physical things that we have at the library. We have a lot of rare and unique books that pertain to Jacksonville and Morgan County history. So I did just want to mention, along with this, since they are rare, we don't circulate any of the items that are in special collections, so they do have to be viewed here in the library. I was actually going to record this in the special collections room, but the lighting is very dim to try to preserve some of the items that are in there. So the video looked terrible. So here I am in a different room recording this, but I did grab some of the books so I can kind of just show you what might be in there. But a lot of them can be described in the same way, and that they have, some different biographies and information on all types of local history topics. We also have some vertical files of local history items, so that would have a lot of newspaper clippings, different event programs from over the years, pictures, photographs, and a lot of assorted materials on people, places, events, and different topics relating to Jacksonville. We also have a lot of city directories, and city directories are really great. You can search by last name or a business name, and this would allow you to link individuals to specific properties if you were doing some genealogy research. And then you can also reverse that and search by street address, and you can see who lived in and operated from a specific property. So here's just one of our city directories. This is a 1986 city directory. So this is kind of just what it looks like. You can search. Here we have, this is by name, and it just kind of lists where the person lives, and a lot of the historical ones, this one does too, will say what the person did as an occupation, which is helpful to people doing genealogy research as well. And I did just want to mention that we don't have all of the city directories. They start in 1866, but they're very spotty throughout the 1800s and even the early 1900s. We are just missing some of the city directories. A lot of them were donated over the years, so if we didn't get that specific donation, it might not be here. But it's rather extensive, so it's definitely worth looking at those city directories. And then I also wanted to mention that we have all of the local newspapers on microfilm. So if you're ever looking for an obituary, birth announcement, any kind of news coverage of like a special event such as a wedding, graduation, things like that, that you would want to look at historical newspapers, you can do that here at the library. You would just need to know the dates because they are indexed by date. They're not indexed by topic or person or things like that. So you have to kind of know the dates that your event happened, or the person passed away, or whatever it might be, so that you can search it that way. But there is a partial obituary index from 1976 to 1996. There was a brief volunteer program that went on where they kind of went through and indexed all of the people who had passed away for those 20 years. But unfortunately, we don't have much more than that as far as indexing a specific person. We do subscribe to a database called Newspaper Archive, where you can actually search by the person who passed away or a specific event, and it will bring up the newspaper copies that they have that reference that specific person or event. So you can actually search that. And that's available on our website under online resources and databases, and the alphabetical list that comes up. And you can log in if you're outside of the library with your library card, or you can come in the library and view it that way as well. And I also wanted to mention that I am happy to do and help you with your research as well. So if you're just kind of stuck, you don't know what else to do, I can kind of assist you and see what we might have that could further your research. Now, we don't have a lot of genealogical stuff because there is a genealogical society in town. It's actually right behind the library here that I'll mention a little bit later. They have a lot more of the genealogy stuff that's in town here. But we do have a lot of biographical information, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. And most of that biographical information occurs in books that have been published, and I will kind of show you a few of those. But if your person was not, let's say, a politician or didn't found something or whatever it might be, they might not be, published in a book. We do have a few family histories here, but for the most part, our collection is kind of more based around local history. But here are some of the books that we do have. This history of Morgan County has a lot of really great information in it. Just kind of start here, but this is mostly having to do with the history of Morgan County. It does have some short biographies of prominent citizens in Morgan and Scott counties in the late 19th century and some portrait sketches, but it doesn't have, everything. And that's why there are so many different book resources. A lot of times you might have to look through 5 to 8 different books to kind of see if your person that you're researching is mentioned. Now, if it's a local history topic, like, a building or, a different organization that existed in the past or whatever it might be, if it's more of a topic, then chances are we probably have something on that. Let's see, what else do we have here? We also have this pretty great book here. It's called Historic Morgan, and that's by Charles Eames. And this, again, has a lot of the biographical sketches of prominent citizens. And I did just want to mention, you can probably see here that this says, do not photocopy. And that's because some of these books need to be restored or aren't in the best condition. So we don't want you smashing it on a photocopier and making it any worse. So you are welcome to take pictures of the books or any pages that you're wanting to reference with your phone with no flash, and that would be a good way of keeping something for the future. So some of the other things I wanted to mention, I don't have a book with me right now because, like I said, I didn't want to bring all of the books that are in there. But there is a book called The Legacy of Historic Jacksonville, Its Home and Buildings by Joanne Beard. And that has a lot of the history and significance of the homes and buildings in Jacksonville. That was published in 1977, though. So anything after that probably, obviously, wouldn't be in there. But it also has some now and then photographs and information about property ownership over time. So if you're doing some research on your home or a building in town, that's a good place to start to see if it's mentioned in there. Let's see. I also wanted to mention that we have some different plat books that have been put out over the years, including the 1894 version, and that's kind of like the definitive version for that time. And that also includes short biographies of prominent citizens as well in the late 19th century. And we also have more current plat maps as well that you can look at to see who owns specific property throughout town. And then we also have, as far as buildings go, and we have a copy or two, I think, of this one that you can check out, but we also have copies in special collections. A window on the past. This has some really great information on the historic homes, and it's kind of like a photographic tour of the historic homes in Jacksonville, and it's just a pretty neat little book. So, it has the Architectural House and some information on that. So as you can see, it has some historic pictures as well as more updated pictures, so you can see how the home might have changed over time. So this is another really great resource if you're looking for information on your house. And this little video that we're doing isn't going to be extensive. There's a lot of stuff in there that I'm not going to be able to talk about, but if you're looking for information on the different cemeteries in Morgan County, we have a guide to the cemeteries of Morgan County. This was put out in 1975, so it's not going to have any information past that. But there are a lot of little cemeteries around here that, might be overgrown or not, they're not using them anymore. So this is really great if you're doing looking for any information on the cemeteries in this area. So we have that here as well. We also have this great book I just want to quickly mention, Jacksonville, the Beautiful City, and it has some different, just some pictures of the different places throughout town that you might be interested in, like the Illinois Women's College has information about that back in the day, and just some different pictures as well. So another just little resource to take a look at just to see if it might mention what you're looking for. And probably don't need to mention this to people who are, local history researchers or people who do genealogy research, but findagrave.com is pretty great for looking up specific, grave sites of people. So that might have, a specific date of the person who passed away for you. But if you do need to find out when someone passed away, the Illinois State Archives has a death database for 1916 to 1950. We have that linked on our website under the genealogy resources if you're looking for that. But that would be helpful if you needed to find a specific date that a person passed away if you were looking up obituaries here at the library. So the 1916 to 1950 one has basic information on where and when a person's death certificate was filed, and the death database for pre-1916 isn't as complete. It's an ongoing project, so you might not find who you're looking for, but again, it's a good place to search and see if you do find them within the death index, the person that you're researching. If you're looking for death records post-1950, Ancestry has a Social Security death index that you can search. Again, this isn't extensive, but it has a lot, and that can be used inside the library. We have a subscription, the library has a subscription to ancestry that you can use. You just have to be inside the library to view that. And last but not least, just some different places throughout town that you can continue your research if we don't have exactly what you're looking for. There is that genealogical society in town behind the library on 416 South Main Street. They can be reached at 245-9623. And they can help you kind of track people that aren't mentioned in our biographical resources here. And that would be another good place to go. And then if you're looking for, we have a lot of people that will come in and ask if we have birth, death, or marriage records. Those aren't things that public libraries generally collect. So those can be accessed at the county clerk's office. Their phone number is 243-5419, and they can kind of assist you with that sort of information. They also have estate documents as well as records of property ownership as well. So that's just another good place to check as well. So I hope that this was informative about some of the information we have here at the library and special collections. If you ever have any questions about local history or genealogy, please email me. My name is Sarah again. It's ssnyder@jaxpl.org, or give us a call here at 243-5435. Thank you. Have a nice night. Bye-bye.